It's a cruel irony that smaller and less capable animals are often hunted because they are not seen as a threat. Once in a blue moon, an apex predator would let go of prey that could be its food without harming that animal. Nonetheless, a similar case was reported from the Berlin Zoo. A cat accidentally found himself inside an 800-pound bear's cage. Employees and onlookers were anticipating to see what would happen in the next few seconds. This happened in 2000. Zookeepers and guests were observing the enclosure of an Asiatic bear called Mouschen as usual, but their eyes caught a stray black house cat that had entered the bear's dangerous entity at the zoo. Everyone was flabbergasted by this sight, and they couldn't realize how the cat managed to get in there. The bystanders were scared to death that the cat would get killed before their eyes. They later named the cat as Mushki, though there are hundreds of varieties in the Berlin Zoo. Mouschen the bear was one of the most preferred animals by both guests and workers. Everyone appreciated how gorgeous she was. Not only that, but also she had elegant size and strength. They realized what Mouschen was capable enough to do when they saw Mushki in the same vicinity as her. They were pretty sure that the bear would definitely attack the cat. Thus, they watched in amazement. One of the zoo workers was feeding Mouschen her breakfast, ensuring she had enough food to eat in her enclosure early in the morning. Then he saw Mushki. It was sitting on a branch up in a tree. This was definitely absurd, as the zoo never exhibit cats as one of their species. So it was a real question for them, where Mushki came from. Even though it was not usual, the zookeepers never thought that it would enter the enclosure. Soon enough, Mouschen noticed a little guest in the tree. She seemed rather interested in the cat instead of being ferocious. The audience wasn't quite sure whether Mouschen was just curious or if she saw it as a quick munch. Then Mouschen started to walk towards the tree where the cat was sitting. To the audience's great astonishment, the cat also jumped from branch to branch and ultimately reached the ground inside of the enclosure. All waited, anxious. Their fear became more or less a surprise when the flip side of what they were scared of happened. Mouschen was not truculent toward the cat, but rather she was so infatuated with it. It appeared that what some people might call the laws of nature was violated, as the two became friends in no time. Not only that they became great friends, but also they became inseparable within the bear's enclosure at the zoo. But stranger things were yet to come. The Berlin Zoo decided that Mouschen's enclosure should be expanded in order to enhance the quality of her life. It happened in 2007. It was a significant decision as it made Mouschen's life better.
Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story.
Yet they had to encounter a problem, as her enclosure had to be constructed. The situation made Mouschen and Mushki stay away from each other for some time. They seemed not happy about what was going to happen since they had become best friends. How they reacted to the situation was fascinating. They didn't understand the fact that both of their lives would be better as soon as Mouschen's enclosure was constructed. There was a greater possibility to think that they at least realized that they had been separated for a good cause. Mushki kept waiting outside of Mouschen's cage all night and refused to leave. All of the zookeepers felt guilty for separating a beautiful and unique relationship, and they realized that they had to do something to make it right. Even though the two friends had a bad break, their struggle finally ended as the construction of Mouschen's enclosure completed in no time. After they accustomed themselves to the new and enhanced home, both were extremely happy to get together again. Obviously, the amazing bond between these two animals started to grab attention not only from the zookeepers, but also from the visitors. They crowded themselves in the zoo in order to see this quirky couple. Not long after they got together again, people from everywhere began to come to visit the bear and the cat, who became the best of friends. It was pretty astonishing to see two animals that are not meant to be together living as an inseparable couple. As everyone was so enthusiastic about the relationship between Mouschen and Mushki, they were so curious and started to ask questions. The most burning question they had was, where did Mushki come from in the first place? Even though how curious was everyone, no one got the answer to how Mushki found its way to the zoo and then into Mouschen's enclosure. But the strange bond between them was more interesting than Mushki's sudden presence in the zoo. Yet it was a real question why Mushki tended to climb into the enclosure and get close to a vulture. Didn't her instincts tell her to stay away from Mouschen? The employees of the zoo started to think that they had been destined to meet. Indeed, the friendship between Muskie and Mauschen is extremely unique and very enchanting, yet it conveys us a profound meaning. No one ever thinks that a stray cat and bear would create a strong bond between them and finally become best friends. They are an epitome to prove that though people are distinctive from their race, culture, or personality, they can create friendships out of anywhere. There is no need of hanging around with the same kind of people, as this couple proves that friendship can be found in the most unanticipated places.